Look at you.
Hello, and thank you for joining us. The OCR report here at OCRWC World Championships 2022. We're at Stratton Mountain. I'm Jason Dupree, and this is Mike Stefano.
What's up?
And for those who joined in early, you saw a little technical snafu there where we were live before we thought we were. And, backwards. Perfect. I figured that would happen.
This is why it's Friday, guys. We're ironing out those kinks for you.
Oh man, so we got here, and I mean, everybody's getting here just now. Basically, like everybody's getting here and just going through all the stuff, getting us set up. I mean, there's so many different things to do. The crew is still out there building stuff.
Yeah.
And we're just working through kinks. Like everybody's just working through kinks.
Yeah.
I had a funny issue that came up, just a technical thing.
Hilarious.
And it took me. It feels like an hour to figure it out, and it was just a checkbox that I forgot to check.
Yeah, and going back to the build crew, I was talking to Race Ready Obstacles, and he said he was like up till 4 o'clock in the morning, and it looks like he's going to be up to 4 again. So when you see those people, thank them, because they are very responsible for putting this event on for you guys.
Yeah. So we do have some things to talk about, just to go over what this weekend's going to be. Tomorrow morning, we're going to start with the 3K tomorrow morning, I say. Tomorrow around lunchtime is going to be the Pro 3K. I do have the honor of running 3K before the course happens, but one thing you won't see is me commenting on the live stream. So we're actually going to have some awesome commentators here. We're going to have Nicole Miracle in person and David Magida online. He's going to be remote for the 3K. And so I'll get to run ahead of time, maybe give them some tips about what I saw out there, and let them take it from there while I control the switching cameras. So, gonna be a cold one tomorrow.
Very cold. Today it's been rainy and it was 60 degrees. Tomorrow I think it said 40 degrees. And I'm going off at 9 o'clock in the morning, so I'm going to be dealing with the brunt of that. We'll see how that goes. I know you go a little bit later. And again, the elites go off at noon, so hopefully it heats up a little bit, but it's not expected to get decently warm by any measure. So.
You know, that first wave is nice. It's cool to have when the weather's nice, but now that I just turned 40 this year, so I am thankful that I don't go run till 11 o'clock.
Yes, yeah. So people will be buying their Blegmits. I was talking to Evan Preparis, and they're going quickly, so go get them.
Nice. Let's take a look at the 3K course. So this course is only going up to half mountain. So you can see that elevation profile there is, you got a little quick climb, and then you take a big climb to mid-mountain, and then come on back down, and then run straight on through the gauntlet at the end with the run through the, what do we call that area? The city, the village
yes,
area.
Yeah.
So the obstacles that we're going to have here, real quick, I think looking at this course compared to last year, I like how it's a little short climb, a few obstacles, and then you come down back into the festival area quickly and do a couple obstacles before doing the big climb.
Yeah.
Last year it was a big climb almost straight out the gate.
Immediately, yes.
So this
People
is pretty
weren't
cool.
very fond of that, so I am glad that they changed it up a little bit this year.
Yeah. Now, obstacle-wise, I do wish we had our list up, but I think we got enough of it here. Starting out with number 1 is going to be the 4-foot walls. This is a couple of walls in a row, and just 4-foot walls, breaks up the pace for everybody. And then after that is a crawl. This is going to be really interesting to see that early on.
Yeah.
But again, 3K, it is waved heats, so it's going to be 4 to 8 people at a time. So it's not too bad.
No.
But what about tomorrow in the 15K?
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
And then after you come through those, coming back down into the festival area is an over-under, and then pendulum down at, that's going to be where the real spectator spot is right there, because everybody's coming back down the mountain, and pendulum's just a fun one.
It's very fun.
You see a lot of really cool different techniques there. Number 5 down at the base there. And yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of people watching right there. But before you go back up into the mountain, Stairway 3.0.
Yeah, that's a doozy. For anyone that saw the Instagram live, that is significantly harder than Stairway 2.0, as the name implies, and it should be really interesting to see what happens there. I don't know if it'll have too much of an effect on the elite field. Maybe just slow some people down, maybe 1 or 2 failures, but I don't think anyone's gonna really lose a band there for the elites at least.
Yeah, the holds are a little different. You still got those swinging stair steps, but you've also got a T bar that's not quite a T. It's more of a little bit of a Y.
Yes, I noticed that. And then at the very, very top, the apex, it has a wheel similar to Urban
swinging
Sky.
wheel, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
That and that's cool. I like that device. It's the big one in the Force 5 rig is always really fun to swing through.
Yep. If you can get that high.
All right, so once you get up to mid-mountain, so after the climb, there's the Force 5 rig up there, number 7, and then Lagaff, number 8.
Mm-hmm.
Lagaff really tripped some people up last year.
Yes, and I don't remember if it was last year or the year previous to that where it had the elastic bands on it, but I was told that there are no elastic bands on it this time.
Interesting.
So they don't kind of slingshot it back. But if you want a good video of that, I highly recommend you go to OCRWC's Instagram because they have a video of, I can't remember who's doing it, but they make it look easy.
And those rubber bands, they actually pulled it back.
Yes.
Which made it even harder to get forward.
I thought so as
momentum.
well, yes.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe that'll be a little easier this year.
Hopefully.
And what I saw last year is I thought I should stay up high and that would get the momentum, but I ended up having to go low to be able to get through it.
Interesting.
So
Okay, because I always hear get high, so you're higher up on the. You have more force behind your thrusts.
Right, but if you can't get that, again, those bands that were on it that were pulling it back, if you can't get enough momentum to get spun around and pull on it, so going lower, if you're having trouble going high, go low. After heading on down the mountain is, I think it's Twist on Life is number 9.
Okay.
Twist on Life is number 9. That's a really neat one. You know, you got all these rigs out here, but having something where you've got to use your forearm strength to lift a sandbag is very unique, and it definitely plays you're going to do that, and then you're going to come down and do Valkyrie and several other rigs.
Yeah. Think of it as like you're twisting a bar that's like similar to a little bit bigger than a toilet roll, and you're twisting that and having a weight on a pulley going up. So pretty simple, pretty straightforward, but it does do some work to your grip there.
Yeah, and then once you get back down to the base of the mountain, before you get into the actual festival area, right there visible from the festival area is the skitch and the hoist. And somewhere in there, I'm not exactly sure what 10, 11, and 12, but two of those three are skitch and hoist, and then canyon after that. So Twist on Life, and then skitch and canyon. I mean, the hoist is never really a big deal here.
No.
But those two are, that's going to, if your forearm's blasted already, shake those hands out while you're running down the mountain.
Yeah, and I've been running around like a crazy person today, but I did hear that canyon seems to be a little bit higher up. Did you hear that as well?
Remember last year, the 3K was really low, and then they raised it up a little bit for the 15K.
Yep.
So it's probably about the same as the 15K, but that doesn't mean you still got to pick your feet up.
Yes.
And then after that is a heavy carry and drop zone. And drop zone looks like a lot of fun.
Yes.
It looks tough for some people.
It does.
If you basically need to be able to do 6 pull-ups at least to be able to get through that thing.
Yeah, do 3 consecutive ascending monkey bars to not quite a lache, a mini lache.
I know you can reach it from hanging from the top piece to the bottom.
You can, okay.
Handle, but it's that drop, catching yourself with those bent arms and not slinging down and not letting go.
Yeah. Very, very new and exciting obstacle.
Yeah. Then once you pass up the start line, out there is Triumph and Littlefoot. And for those that don't know, Triumph is basically Dragon's Back.
Correct.
Jumping across platforms into slanted walls.
Yeah.
And they always add something else to it. I haven't seen what it is yet.
Yeah. I know in the past it's been like a cargo net that you have to like get under or cargo net you have to get over. But yeah, some people were confused about that, including Jack Bauer, which I was surprised by. But it is the same as Dragon's Back.
Yes. And then after running through the village area, you get to Urban Sky, Ricochet, and the cargo climb. So a lot of really fun obstacles making their way back from last year. Pendulum, Ricochet, some of the other ones that we just saw last year.
Yeah, it's
so really
exciting. It just makes you feel like you're flying. It's real fun.
Let me see if I can get this map out of here. Maybe not. Hang on. Tap dance, Mike.
Going up and going down. Technical terrain. It's me again.
There we go.
In my shirt.
How's it going, guys? Hey, look at this nice background we've got. That was a picture by Jack Goris.
How do you like my shirt?
Oh, yeah. So we got this beautiful green screen that we're going to get to see. Behind us is a view outside the mountain, but you know what it's like whenever you're inside versus outside, and the lighting is bright outside, but it's dim inside. So that doesn't work. So we're going to try this fun green screen that I got. So we've also got, we don't have to talk through all the obstacles because of course we've got a whole weekend to go through them, but let's take a quick look at the 15K map. This one, you got a nice climb to start with, and then you run way out. Did you see Ryan Atkins on Instagram, his interpretation of the map? He was looking at the course, the Stratton Mountain map.
Okay.
And he was talking about it.
I saw a little bit of it.
It was interesting, but
what is that? That big? Is that a building?
Yeah, there's like a parking lot and stuff over there. So.
Oh, that's right. That's where Dragon's Back was in the past.
Right. Okay. So once you go up the mountain, it's kind of a downhill run all the way out to 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. But then it's a climb back up to mid-mountain. You have a little bit of a descent before you get to mid-mountain. And then you go all the way up the mountain.
I like the way that this course looks. It's not, if you were to compare this to the map last year where it was very similar to the 3K, just like up the mountain. And no, it's not very exciting to watch, nor is it very exciting to do. So I think this is much more interesting for this year.
Yeah, really neat that it's not. You know, they've always had either a single climb or a single descent all the way up the mountain or all the way down. And this time they're breaking it up, so you've got a mid-mountain to the top of the mountain climb, and then a run down that back road, which is fantastic.
Yes, I love that.
Running all the way down the mid-mountain, doing a few obstacles, and then bombing down back to the festival area before you climb 2 more times to mid-mountain, basically. So it's going to be different, but I think it's going to really provide its own unique challenge.
Yeah, and it won't really separate the pack too early on because, like, again, with the climbs later on, you have no idea how it's going to shake out. So people that are going to do well, there's going to be a lot of changing of positions, I foresee, for tomorrow, for Saturday.
Yeah, so two big climbs right after bombing, and you're going to bomb 2 more times, and then running through the festival area again and hitting all those rigs, and then all the fun stuff at the end, just like with the 3K. I don't think anything really changes, like the order that you do them in from the 3K. Changes a little bit, but that's about it. Let's take a look at the team race. Sunday, the team race. One thing they've changed up this year is instead of the technical leg going last, the technical leg, this green line here, is going second. So strength is actually going to be the last leg.
Yes, it's interesting.
So strength is that blue line there. So they're basically using those same 3 climbs that we're seeing on the 15K, and each leg of the race gets one of those climbs. So big climb, big descent on all of those.
I heard some people talk about how they should probably do away with the naming convention of it and just call it leg A, leg B, leg C, because it is very hard to tie strength-based obstacles to one side, because that's the way that the course is designed for the 15K as well. So it is interesting.
It's true, but you do still have more of one thing.
Yeah.
Everybody still does everything, because I think in the past, even like the speed leg was like almost nothing, but you know, they've since made it where you still do some rigs and stuff. So everybody's still doing something.
Yeah.
Like I think the strength leg still does sketch,
carry.
I believe.
Oh, okay. That's good to know, yeah.
Yeah. Pretty wild. So yeah, there's the maps. We've got an awesome crew out this weekend. So we talked about the 3K, Nicole Miracle and David Megita. On the 15K, we've got VJ Jones and Jack Bauer. They're going to be here in person. Nicole Miracle is going to be here in person too, but Jack Bauer, those 2 guys are going to be commentating right here in these 2 seats that we're in right now. It's going to be fantastic. I can't wait for that.
Yeah, that's exciting.
VJ not running the 15K.
Yes, interesting. I mean, he's putting all of his focus on the 3K. I totally get it. And it's not to say that he couldn't do the 15K, but he's specializing. And I think that's a good focus for him, and that could be the future of the sport, right?
Yeah, and I believe he is running the team race as well.
Yes,
so,
yes, he is.
Wanting to go all out for that, it's very understandable. Last year he did the 15K too, but we saw how when he got to the top of the mountain, he kind of not blew up, but he definitely slowed down from there.
Yes.
So this year he's wanting to just go hard on what he knows he's good at. So why not?
Yeah, it should be exciting.
And then we get him here in the booth. So I'm all for it.
Yeah.
The team race, we've got remotely, we've got Alex Walker and David McGee returning for those. And we will be live streaming. We don't have a course map for it, but we will be live streaming the 100-meter on Sunday afternoon as well. And we've got a new face that we'll get to introduce to you guys, as well as hopefully Kevin Donahue. We
Okay.
haven't got a confirmation yet, but hopefully Kevin Donahue.
All right.
We'll see.
See what happens.
Yeah. What about athletes that you expect to see do well?
So without the athlete list in front of me, let's start with the women, because I know the women usually go second, so let's get them to go first.
I'll pull it up while
First
you're
place, oh yeah, that'd be fantastic. First place, Lindsay Webster. Surprise. Second place could be a number of women. There's some fantastic ladies out here for this event, as it usually brings. So thinking about it, Rose Wetzel, a great competitor. She's focusing on the 3K, not signed up for the 15K, to my knowledge. There's also Ida Mathilde Stengard, phenomenal over here from Denmark. She puts up, she's just a fantastic competitor, and she's extremely good at these kind of obstacles. It's much more the European style. She's phenomenal. There's a lot of, wait,
Are you talking
about the
on
women.
the 3K?
Yes.
There you go.
Sarah Backstrom, I've heard about. I believe she's from Sweden. I'm planning to learn more about her after I run my race tomorrow and figuring that out. But I heard her name being thrown around a lot. Also, Annie Doobie. This is her first time to OCRWC. She is Mountain Goat Girl on Instagram, and so the mountain won't be an issue for her. Her obstacle game is pretty good. I know that she had an injury, I believe, earlier this year, but I'm expecting her to do really well.
Have we seen her on a lot of obstacles outside of Spartan?
No, we have not.
I know she's a rock climber, right?
Yes.
But yeah, rock climbing, that means she's got the grip strength, but does she have the technique to be efficient?
The body awareness could come with the rock climbing too, but she is, of course, coached by Nicole Miracle as part of the OCR Dream Team, so
and she
should
running
do pretty well as well.
3K and 15K.
Okay.
And that's one thing I know a lot of people really kind of take into factor here. You're running a race the day before, but the 3K is not a long race. For the pros, it's taken somewhere between 15 and 25 minutes.
Yeah.
And so you're getting not a lot of burn, not a lot of tiredness from it, but you're getting some practice on the obstacles before you do the big race on Saturday.
Quick shout out also to Miranda Kilpinski. This is also her first OCRWC, very similar to Annie Doobie with her background and all that stuff, although surfing, which is interesting. She's very excited. I expect her to do pretty well. Jareen Klingberg from New Sanity, probably going to do very well out there as well. Alicia Keeker's here. I think this might be her first OCRWC. Amanda Nadeau is a name that you should be aware of. Amy Magic Patrick is out here. Tiffany Palmer. Chris Rogloski. Now, I know that she initially anticipated doing the 3K and then going to Spartan Ultra Championships, which got canceled. So all the more reason to have all the eggs in this basket. We'll see how she does with that.
I'd like to say something about Amy Pagic. I know listening to Race Brain, if you haven't listened to Race Brain's
fix that.
their preview episode for OCRWC, go check it out tonight, because we've got everything that they talked about. They did a great job covering it, and that's tomorrow. So get on that and listen to them. But one thing that they I feel like they don't really know her that well as they do some of the other athletes. And the thing I think I see from Amy is that she doesn't have the top end speed that some of the other.
No.
She's not crazy fast.
She relies on the obstacle.
She is very good with the obstacles. She's one of those females that will be the only one that makes it through a Conquer Gauntlet. If there's only one person on the podium or two people, she's one of them.
Yes. And she's also based out of the center of the country too. Not known for its mountains. That could also be a factor. But she's also familiar with this venue. She's been here for OCRWC. She's been here for NORAM. Even still, it's not entirely geared for her. But if she does well, it won't surprise me. Also, shout out Kelly Sullivan. Love your face.
One thing, Rose Wetzel not running the 3K, but not the 15K.
Yes, I don't remember if I said that, but yeah. So that should be interesting that she's really focusing on this one.
Yeah,
and,
pretty well. All right, who next? Men?
Yeah, we'll do the men 3K. That is
the men, much bigger list for the men.
Okay.
It's at least double, I would say, from the men to the women. But yeah, who are you looking out for? Obviously, Ryan Atkins.
Obviously, definitely Ryan Atkins. Ryan Brizzolara, He's been putting in a lot of work. Again, Noob Sanity, he does really well. I believe he should also be on here, but Jared Newby, great athlete as well. Looking at
Of course,
some more
VJ Jones,
Yes.
he's looking to take that 3K championship again. Rylan Shadig?
Shadig. Yes.
This is going to be really awesome to see him because he's been killing it at
Yeah.
Spartan, but this is his first time doing these types of obstacles.
Yes.
And obviously, we know that these rigs can really cause havoc if you, and you might be able to get through them because you're strong
He's
and
very
awesome.
strong, yes.
But
will
not
he be efficient enough?
right.
Yeah,
The,
I think
the
it'll be interesting.
efficiency, like, last year we saw Ryan Kempson squeak away from Logan Broadbent because of how crazy efficient he is through those obstacles.
Which is surprising because Logan Broadbent, American Ninja Warrior, but he just didn't have it that day. So that could be an absolute factor with this 3K especially. Also, Jesse Bruce on there. We haven't seen him as much lately. He's been focusing on triathlon, but a phenomenal athlete. You should not sleep on him.
The very last one on the list because it's alphabetical
Yes,
order.
sorry.
Matt Willis. He's a local Texas guy.
Oh, cool,
and I
cool.
actually, funny story about him. I ran the Dallas Beast in the Elite Wave and last year, and it was like me and like 8 other guys. It was like Robert Killian, Helm, and a couple of, and I was like, what am I doing? And so they flew away from me, and he had told me beforehand that he had an issue with his I don't know, his foot or something, his ankle. And sure enough, about 10 minutes into it, I passed a cart that had him on it. Like he twisted it that early on.
Damn,
so I just saw him earlier, and he's like, I just started running again 3 months ago.
Okay, so that should be interesting. Also, Dave Claxton, bless his heart, he's doing this, giving it his all. Also, Stefano Colombo from Italy. His name is my name too. Other names on here. There's a bunch, and
It's a big
wish
list.
I knew Samuel Hebert from Canada.
Hebert, yeah.
Fantastic athlete. I'm expecting him to do pretty well. Easily top 10, I would say. VJ Jones. I don't know if we didn't say his name, but obviously him as well.
And
Ryan Kempson.
Jack Bauer too.
Yes, yeah. And Ryan Kempson too. More so, he is the 15K defending champion. I'm expecting him to do pretty well.
Sean Roberts.
Yes, yeah.
Sean Roberts been killing it at Savage Races, so he's familiar with wacky rigs, and dude's real fast too.
Yeah,
so.
just had him on the show very recently. He's learning to try to access that hurt more, but he trained on some fun obstacles at Noob Sanity, so I think he's feeling pretty prepared for this. And just super excited to see all these people. Who else do we have on here?
That's the 3K. Let's look over at the 15K and see if we can see any names that really stand out to be different. Or, like
so
obviously
Atkins again. Yeah.
VJ Jones is not running the 15K.
Yep.
But besides that, it's a pretty similar list. I'm not seeing really much
little
that
bit
stands
longer, but
too far out. A lot of the same names. So a lot of these guys they're going to have a little bit of practice on some of the obstacles already. So that's good. That could play a big role for like Rylan.
Yeah.
Who may not be familiar with the obstacles already.
I see Aaron Newell on here. Is he also registered for the 3K? Because he will do decent as well, I believe. Not seeing it.
I don't see him for the 3K.
No. Okay, so just focusing on the 15K,
Which
that
is
could give
interesting.
him an additional edge. He's a good mountain runner, also based on the East Coast too, so these are his kind of mountains. So he might do really good work as well. Thomas Van Tonder, unfortunately, isn't here. I was very excited to meet him.
Yeah, the Russians and Thomas.
Yes,
because
he had
of
COVID in South Africa. He lives in South Africa.
Unfortunately.
Yes.
And no John Alvin either. He's
focusing
seems
on
to be
other
focusing
things. Don't forget about the women for the 15K as well.
No, we talked about women for both.
Did we?
Yeah, because they were on the same screen. Not that we're showing those names right now. We're just talking about them. But
well, something different. I didn't mention Bethany McChesney, not known for mountain work, but should be interesting to see how she does. Other differences, Erin Sunday, I don't think she's on the 3K. I'm familiar with her. I'm not too sure how she does on these courses. And
I'm excited to see
Tiffany
how.
Palmer. Did we say Tiffany Palmer? That's a name that definitely should.
You probably did. But Ulrike?
Yes, Evanson.
Definitely interested to see how she does because she's got some pretty strong obstacle games.
Yes, I don't know how her running ability is, like what she focuses on, but I believe she's also from Denmark, not known for elevation there.
Yeah. Now the team race on Sunday is going to be just a wild ride, like it always is.
More so this year, I think.
We've got a list of team names, and we don't have the list of like who's on the team.
I know
at
some
this
of
moment.
them. I know some of them.
You want to go
yes.
ahead and talk about some?
So for team men, and if I'm wrong here, I apologize, but Maple Syrup Sweat, I believe that is Jesse Bruce, Ryan Atkins, and Samuel Hebert. I believe it's the three of them.
That's a strong team.
I believe that they will do very good for the men. Also for the men, US OCR Midwest. It's like Ben Rittenhouse and all them. They did pretty well last year. I think they got second or third. So I can't remember their names. Team for the women.
Not a ton of women teams.
No, there's not. That's surprising.
A little less than half the men teams.
So Power Danes, obviously, if that's Danish women, they're probably going to do well. Hybrid as hell. I can't remember who's on that team, but when I looked at it, it stood out to me, so I expected them to do well. Mystery people. And for co-ed, there's the bullies, bitches. I can't remember who they are, but I know the people on that team. There's the team Jack, Benny, and question mark.
Yeah.
We now know that's Jack, Benny, and Chris.
It is.
Last I looked.
Awesome.
I believe.
Awesome.
Mube Sanity, I very well expect that to be Jareen Klingberg, Ryan Brizzolara, and Jarrett Newby. They won the co-ed event last year. Personally, I think the co-ed was the most just competitive event because there weren't as many strong men teams, weren't as many women teams. Most people are doing co-ed. So winning that, I think that bodes well for them. Nor'easter OCR, I'm not too sure who's on that.
But there's a Denmark team, French, German, Norway.
Team Denmark and Innovate is Ida, Leon, and a guy who I met today whose name I forgot. I'm sorry.
Nice. And a Sweden team as well. So that's going to be awesome to see. It seems like the majority of the outside the U.S. teams are on the co-ed.
Yeah. The team that should not be named is also, I believe, it has Amy Pagic and Miranda Hoover, I think, too. So that should be a decent team, too.
Very cool.
It's good to see a lot of athletes, and I know that they very much enjoy these team events, too. So,
yeah. And then on Sunday afternoon, so that happens Sunday morning, and then Sunday afternoon is the 100-meter. That course is looking way different than last year.
Yes.
Last year, a lot of people complained because, Adrian wants people to be able to, like, however you can get to the obstacle, that's how you do it. That's great.
Just happened to
be
jumping.
It turned out that people were just leaping and not touching any implements and just touching the bell.
Definitely athletic, interesting to see,
Right.
not ideal for what we want for that. Yeah.
Right. So they did change it up this year, and it looks like the rigs going through are longer, so it's not something that you can, unless maybe somebody got that leap, but I doubt it. And there's a warp wall at the end, too.
Yeah,
so,
I thought that was kind of cool.
Unique.
I think they should have done some other changes, potentially not having it over pavement again. But other than that, I'm excited to see that. I just don't want to see any injuries, as some people have brought up already. I
haven't seen the full course yet, but I've seen Anchors Away and the warp wall, and Benny was he was down here a minute ago talking about how it looks like it could be a little dangerous.
I wasn't going to call it that.
I don't know what it is that's making it dangerous, but I'm excited to see it.
Well, because with 100-meter, it's high risk, high reward, more so than the 3K. Yeah. You have to throw your body at these obstacles, and they do. So I'm hoping he's wrong. There's no injuries there, but it's a recipe for. I mean, that's the kind of event it is. So I don't know if we have names for that. But Joe Moravsky, I believe, is returning again.
Is he?
Ninja Warrior.
Oh, very cool.
I don't really watch that show, but he's a great guy, and I believe he's here again. Benny Gifford did well last year. VJ Jones did well. For the women, Yaris Cruz did very well. There was also Jalissa Himka. I think she might have been in a different competitive heat, but so if it's anything like last year in terms of excitement, I cannot wait for that.
Yeah, we're going to do just like we did last year, where we've got static cameras set up at spots, so it'll just be watching them fly through the course the whole time. It's going to be really awesome. So stick with us all weekend. We've got, we did the preview show tonight. We've got the 3K tomorrow at noon, and we've got a recap show every night. So 3K recap tomorrow night, and a 15K Saturday morning, and recap show for the 15K, and then Sunday morning again. Those events start around 8, the 15K and the team race.
Correct.
And then we'll have a final recap at the very end of the day, and we're going to try and catch those fireworks that happen at the end.
That sounds
fun. That would be really cool if we can catch it. But thank you guys so much for joining us. we are going to go ahead and call it here. We're going to get up early and watch the races, and then get with you guys so you can watch the pros.
Bundle up. It's going to be a cold one.
Take care.